What's cracking in? Uh, Tuesday night, listen to some Torch Talk, some backlogged episodes. It's actually, I think, Wicked Glass making a Kraken, which is pretty cool. Kind of nautical themed. I'm planning on making a mermaid, or more of what I was doing the other evening. So I've got her prepped up. I'm going to make a bit of color for a Medusa that's kind of going to match in this series. So I'm probably going to start up with coating a little bit of color here, let that get pulled down so I have kind of a blank Medusa. At that point, I'll pull out the Mermaid and start sculpting that. So that's kind of the plan of attack. We'll see what's going on. And yeah, in the background, it probably will just be Torch Talk. Hmm. Patience, appearance. Trying to remember where I get my chat to pop out again on Streamlabs. It's disappeared on me. Hmm. Righto. A new coffee shop today. That was pretty good. Tried a couple of their brews. So I'm feeling right for some glass now. So this is a little leftover from a test where I was striping gray underneath this flesh tone I have. And I liked how it went. I left some gray as like a control. I want to finish out striping on it. So I have another blank that uses this flesh tone. That'll become, well, this will become good for like the arms. So I already have it mostly filled in. I'm gonna come through and double down. Just land the color right on. And I'll go back and melt it all in smooth. Ideally, I would do this all in one go and not have it a 50-50 blend. Key. Alright, smooth this out. Pull it down. Not by much. So here I'm really just trying to melt out all those ripples. Almost. Smooth. Yeah, I might pull this down just a smidge to be able to make like arms or a head or something. Trying to get it nice to eat it. Just going back and heating the thicker spots. I'll take off the larger side. It'll be more manageable with the short pummy. And throw it in the kiln to give it a little anneal, or at least even up the temperatures before using it.
Now he's going to have to like shift that material back over. Whereas if you kind of tag it at the bottom, holy hell. You know what I mean? You've got
Curious where to find the chat.
I believe so. He would be able to say why he did that. But I believe that he tagged it to the bottom first to mitigate the chance of going off just a straight stick. That kind of trouble. I guess, and especially when the angle it's a really, if you've got a good angle on it, it's no big deal. Straight down. Foldable. In this case,
Location.
And you're going to travel some ties over here. Perhaps if you tack to the bottom and roll out, you're not pushing any surface like that. You're kind of getting the opportunity to hit it from one side and roll through to the other, which can push that hair out instead of just going straight over. In this case, that's not. In this case, it's that. Like I said, you can have it do that much straight.
I just have no idea where it's gone.
I think he did it that way. Slow things there. So that the color was. Tack to the bottom and then watch it.
No.
He was very methodical and doesn't seem like he can do it without thinking much. Seems like his intentions are very planned.
You know what? I bet a quick Google always solves it, right? It's like warmer. How do I look at the chat? Nice thing. Yeah. New entire introduce.
Quality material.
Web browser, live section. Warmer, but I can't find the right thing. Stream DV source scene selector audio feed. Recording stream preview. Whatever. We'll just get back to the Mermaid, right?
This is it's like a pound and a half color world that's everybody.
Let's wait for something to sit down for. Hmm. Inevitably have to go back and figure out how I had to chat it. Used to just be this little arrow that would pop out on the side.
I'm not getting my keyboard. The number. I was going to, but I'll put it tonight. Let's see here.
Hmm. Well, maybe it just takes someone being in the chat. Guess we'll see. I feel like this episode of Torch Talk I was just listening to is on there.
But it definitely got cold. Today was pretty nice, but then it got cold.
The numbers are
Trying to reestablish this neck. It's not quite where I want it.
one number.
Yeah. Hmm. Slowly trying to make adjustments to where like the neck head would be.
Let's make a dinner for this. And we're gonna play some games. You're welcome to stick around and watch the games. Or
I'm just keeping the whole thing warm.
second screen. Or the second tab. Just something that can access the website. Put in a game code. That would make your
Alright, time for the back. Cool. Spine.
excited because just tried the Jackpot 7 games just once the other day.
Blend and smooth it out. Sort of working from bigger to smaller details. I think one of the best ways I had to describe is like pixelation for like video games. Think about working from like 8-bit to 16 to 32 to 64. Change what I'm listening to. Demo's done. Slowly just kind of heat and blending that excess material in. Yeah. Slowly just kind of pressing into details. Trying to keep everything warm at the same time too. Trying to set up where the arm may go. So the shoulder is a little more distinct, kind of like a landing pad. Get the other side in balance. Rise central. Little backline setup. really just hitting the whole torso, so I can press it, sort of carve into it. That way, kind of contorts evenly. It makes the figure a little more dynamic. I'll adjust the little proto head nubbin. So, I want to keep this head nub. Enough towards to the right side that I want it to be. Just feels small. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe it is right. I feel like 8 head lengths. Especially if I add hair to it, it's going to get a little bigger. This. Smaller round. Way more comfortable. You want to just test out pulling out some base features.
So again, you guys.
The face is just going to be better if I sculpt it separate. Hmm. I shape up a bit of the draw. Hmm. Give it a little flash. Keep chugging. Slow and steady for this kind of work. Getting the face put together. Less interested in whiplash. trash. We'll see how this treats us. Already seems more interesting. I just found a Losey set to listen to. I really hope I can have my chat back. There we go. Oh, yeah. Trying to push in the jaw a little more. I'm like slowly carving around. Now, right under this section I pulled out. Slowly pushing it increase, try to get the jaw, overlap the neck a little bit, a little more depth dimension. really get into jaw. I feel like I need to zoom in more. Get a little better. Put me over here. Ah, looks good. Has more room for the actual glass, right? Little air bubble right here on the surface. Trying to pop it, brush it out, melt it in. Get rid of that imperfection. So many tiny little details in this. Thank you. Yeah, it's slow and steady work. Really trying to perfect like the jaw bit right now at the head. So doing a little bit of the torso. I need to decide what I want to do with the hair, so I have to prep that shortly. But it'll all come in time. Baby steps. Going around and checking up at the neck. It's nice and smooth. It's not missing any angles or sharp creases that look peculiar for someone's skull. So in efforts to not overheat anything, it's like little micro movements all through the whole piece. Like I add a little heat and then I push a little material around. Here I'm starting to make a little bit of a definition around the back of the skull. Different tool. It's just like a little graphite butter knife, but it is crucial for this kind of stuff. It's a newer one I added in the last year or two, but really do like it. Slowly getting the neck kind of pushed in. And then most of this color is also one piece, so I was debating if I was going to add a head. Seems like it's going to be just right for the rest of the body. I think I'm going to get away just using this. Before I get too carried away with the details of the face. Kind of shift down and start doing the rest of the body. Kind of keep everything in proportion to one another. Completion. That way, like one spot's not hyper detailed, another one's not. It's too many stresses having those many card lines. I'm really just taking my time to warm it up. This area started to cool since I was focusing just heating this face. And I don't want to just dive it fire on some place or such a beach where it's already gotten colder. Yeah, beads are hard. I teach glass bead making at a museum. Yeah, keeping the heat and everything even is really tricky, especially if you're using soft glass. This is Boro. I don't know if you remember what your dad might have been using, if it was soft glass or hard glass. But it takes a lot of patience. Definitely not necessarily a medium to be faint at. You just gotta try and try and try. It's really a lot of the next details are coming into kind of like the hips and rib cage and torso. It is going to be a female figure, so there'll be breast and arms inevitably. But I'm trying to get kind of a central line figured out before I really go in and start adding some attachments. Closey. Closey. Yeah. Clocee. Yeah. Okay. Waist got a little thick in one spot, not the other where I would need it. My last stream, I had thickened up this whole area and shaped out kind of the top half. But now I really want to reposition where some of that material is. I'm using a slightly larger graphite tool. So this one's more like a butter knife. This paddle or plate on a handle, so I can really move it around. I'm kind of like massaging or pushing the material into smooth, pressing it where I want it. Inevitably, I'm going to stretch all this kind of turquoise color down, and that'll become the tail of a mermaid. And I'm adjusting the flame to actually cool it off. This way I can keep the whole thing warm. It's actually going to be part of a goblet series. So here's an image of what it would look like once completed. So I'm making a set of 4 different cups for a client. And they picked out most of the creatures. We kind of just came to a conclusion of what ones would be best. But yeah, a lot of it was their idea of what to make. And I'm kind of just along for the ride. I feel like I need a thicker band of blue to go right around here. I'm going to attempt to do... I heat up a pretty wide area right on the front of the torso, and I can scrape it. And kind of create a chevron or a V. A harpy? Yeah. Yeah, I was labeling it as like a siren because I think they're originally birds. not like mermaid. So it's like a siren, a Medusa, a mermaid, and a Hydra are what I'm making. So this is most of the mermaid. And then this is the same kind of form that's coming up for the Medusa. So she has slightly different If I get just the right heat, I can actually stretch the surface of the glass. And this is what's going to give me like a little feathering or chevron from the body to the tail. I think it's going to be a nice detail. I get it to work just right. I don't know if it's going to cooperate this time. It's because this is so thick, it's much larger. Really trying to take my time in how I heat it and move the material around. Because it is solid, it's not hollow at all. If it were hollow, I could spend a little less time, be a little quicker on it. But this is why I want to keep making sure I have it evenly heated or at least evenly cooling. It's a slow, steady process with little minor adjustments. The crazy bird thing from the last unicorn with had the 3 boobs. Yeah, that was a harpy, I'm pretty sure. Or it was like the witch. What a solid movie reference, though. Is it Schmendel the Magician? Schmendrick the Magician. What's cool about the tool that I'm using, I've actually filed off one side to the other edge, so one side like rounded and one side sharp. Kind of see it in the reflection there. So I can kind of choose sides to sculpt with. Yeah, lately my steez and what to make has been mermaids, and a few centaurs. Honestly, I haven't had a lot of time to do these kind of creatures, so that's why I'm stoked about having this kind of commission. But I am into doing other fantasy creatures. Really want to start doing like magic cards as an inspiration. That movie was intense. Sorry, catching up with your chat. And the unicorn's a complete jerk. She's so self-centered and conceited until the very end. She rallies all these people just to come help her. She like doesn't even understand why, really. Starting to press in the details and become kind of the definition of her back. Almost overdo them. That way I can melt them in as I go. Yeah, now I'm thinking all sorts of things from the last unicorn. The bowl was intense too. Or even just doing unicorn. Unicorns are different. Trying to figure out kind of where to go next. Maybe it's more on the back. The line's a little off center. Kind of pressing the shoulder apart. Scooching. Flattening out where the scapula area is. Last unicorn tarot deck. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it's a deck I feel like can be hit or miss sometimes. A lot of people with a lot of good intentions, but every once in a while. And one friend ordered like custom clothing through Etsy once. That took forever to get to her. It was like hand dyed bamboo outfits. And it really wasn't the person who like didn't operate a business, more just bad customer service. So it's good to hear that you guys had But I hope with a smooth time, trying to get that taken care of. Slowly just giving definition everywhere. Again, trying to think about it sort of as bits in a video game. It's just almost massaging and kneading it all in. Hmm. More back dimples maybe, and some stomach details. Sort of trying to define the hips now, I guess. Mm-hmm. Started to chatter a little bit as I warmed it up. I think it wanted to crack. He needs to get back in the kiln. Whew. Yep, there's a little chip in the color right there. Slowly walk that heat down. Hopefully I can melt it in a little bit and throw it back to the kiln. So I tried to jump in and shift where I was working too fast. And it broke there. And because this already has a bunch of time in it, I'll lose it. But I guess at anywhere to break, it's near the end, not where it's sculpting at the time. I think they always look funny at this point, so you can actually start to see the figure in form, especially since I started making flesh tones. It's not a common colored palette to find in glass. Just makes them look that much more real. Kind of right where I'm heating now is where it began to crack just moments ago. Trying to melt it in. Make sure the glass is pretty happy there at least. As happy as I can get it. Using my graphite tool to sort of push things together. I think I got it. Yeah, maybe it's time she wants to take a pause. Or maybe I just want to stretch the tail out some. Ah, nope, didn't realize you were contacting me. Though it is right here. Oh, look at that, missed calls. Yeah, you know, man, deep in on some stuff. Sorry, McBase. Okay, might have to pop this one in the kiln. Maybe start working on the Medusa. It's gonna have to be a slow heat for that. This needs a little break, I think. Just lets all that get hot. Yeah, Medusa section 2. That's more or less going to get formed in a similar manner. I almost feel like I need to pre-warm this as well. Excuse me. Hopefully that saved y'all. Now we gotta go on mute to protect you from the COVID. Alright, side projects. Blue. Just reduce it in. Who's next? Maybe it's Bird Woman. Or I might need to start making up more color for that too. Questions, questions, questions. Trying to see what I have on my bench too that I can just toy with for a moment as those things warm back up. I guess I have this chunk I need to take care of too. Also probably needs to be warm back up. This is how you end up with a million things in your kiln and you don't get anything done. You just keep stuffing stuff in there on your bench. You're gonna see how quickly I can turn that into anything. Just taking up space. That'll give me like a 10-minute project, right? Something to fill the space between the space. First one to do is punting the lip of this. Because this thing is super wobbly. It's no good. Maybe I'll put these off to the side. This right in front. That is nicer. Just trying to make better exposure. Know that glass looks a little nicer with a darker background. So I can get that going. Feel a little bit. Maybe I should snip flip this. I just watched that. Doge posted another video. Is it Dosh? I forgot. Remember, it's one and not the other. This name I'm trying to think of is another glass artist. It has a very particular color technique. So, curious to maybe trying said technique. First step is put this rod in center with the tube. That way I can make the blowpipe straight. That's better-ish. Such a little section. Who am I emulating? What do you mean, who am I emulating? I don't know. I've always just gone with people's personas. That's who you want to be online. That's who you want to be. I do the same thing when I play like Call of Duty and whatnot. Like even to my roommates, I'll call them by their like game tag, not the name in the game. Maybe it's just like the Warcraft player in me. It's like, no, you're not this person. You're that now. Unless otherwise declared. Or I'll begin to alternate between the two. I guess I also, part of it is, I like the idea that the internet, you can have aliases. I don't think that's much like anywhere else in life too much. If you have like an alternative name that you regularly use. So if you want to be called something else, you can. Nerd. What do you mean nerd? I guess you never really played that many online games. super cash, you can use your real name, that's what you want. First step, fume the glass. This is laying a little bit of silver on the surface. We're just going to pigment it kind of a yellowy color. Silver's pretty spent, it seems. Kind of like the slaggy bits that have dripped off before. No, not really a fresh piece. Spray. You can see this drastically change. Yeah, what was a purely clear tube is now a little tinted. Trim a thin rod. Hate to get through this and realize I don't have any 4 mil. Past self, looking out for future self. Trim your sticks. Take your sticks, cut them down ahead of time. Alright, wrapping rate. Audio is cutting in and out. Oh, I wonder if it's because I'm having it at a threshold that it just doesn't trigger as much anymore. So when I see it read on my end, it picks up pretty quick. Also, it just has to be like I have older headphones. More heat. I'm not quite sure if this is how he does these things, but I'm pretty sure that it's something along this line. Maybe less steep, a little more meat on the rake. Maybe get a blue background like his. When I blink and move, mess Slowly just casing this tube with a clear rod. This way it's adding a bunch of texture and trapping that layer of silver that I just added down. I'm going to do another layer of silver on this layer, and I'm going to do a rake, which will feather or stripe this pattern. I've done this just right. And keep going, my fingies will get hot. Grab a little Kevlar glove. It'll protect my hand, but I lose dexterity, so it's a little harder to hold. Tweezer. Flash the whole thing. Do a second round of fume. Break it. That is done. Go back to the scope. We're going to take a break there. We're going to be at 10 o'clock at that point, my time. And this flame's here just to kind of cool things off. If I evenly warming them up. Trying to make another layer that's silver. Right on top of that fresh rod, because now it's kind of sandwiching different layers. It's silver on your marker. Now we'll follow this up with a rake, which is striping clear at the top. And then we'll move it over. Spot on my graphite now, right? Piece of silver that's stuck just below my torch. Only slightly nervous about that. Oh well, I guess graphite pads have two sides. So he lays his lines pretty close. I'm going to try to emulate that. a little bit more glass every time. Kind of a therapeutic process. Always making more prep, right? Less work, more prep. I feel like a t-shirt for glass artists. Like everyone I talk to is like, I pull a cane or make a swinger, or I like to do greedy. And then it's like, all right, what vessel have we made? What's the object? That's always like yet to come. A little over halfway. If I really rake it, it's working. I think this temperature is much hotter. And trying to be more vigilant about like actually casing that fume in than just leaving it there and burning it out. Alright, back to the up. Keep debating getting fingerless gloves. Just haven't done it yet, but it's on the docket. Alright, we'll rewarm. Maybe we fume it once more. I feel like for good measure we should, right? Yeah. More fume. Alright, so I think step one, melt it in. Step Suddenly thinking I need a flow collar. The handle gets flipped back over to a tube to melt it in. Might be vastly prepared for this. Bro. What do I need? What do I need? A little more heat. A little finger protection. Alright. Trying to melt in all this texture. I'm gonna go back, cut it, and flip it. Just doing a little adjustment with the handle again. So I'm hesitant to seal it up. Just have to tear it open. That's probably what I should be doing. Slowly melting things in. Just trying to get all the big cracks out. I feel like once I flip it and melt it, I'll be able to really get it back. I feel like I'm seeing a bunch of air bubbles. Less than ideal. Perhaps I can squeeze them out going this other direction now. I'm starting to see the pattern though. It's looking good. So yeah, there are a bunch of air bubbles in this now. So I layered different glasses on it, or color rods, clear rods. And had I been able to have a little more control while I was taking initially, I could squeeze them all out going in one direction or the other. Now I think I'm gonna have They're like half baked in. I feel like he does them a little different. You know what? Determine what point in his process to like add all the blue and everything. I just have shears or like metal scissors. I can cut through the glass with when it's nice and hot. Now this material is pretty warm, fairly easy to cut through. Trying to set the best tool to touch it with. So for things that have not like teeth or texture on them, graphite rod's nice because it's pretty smooth. The tweezers, on the other hand, has some stuff on it. Yeah, slowly cutting through, having less and less contact piece with the blowpipe it's on. And I'm never really going to fold it back over on itself. Creepy. My mom is half-baked. What do you mean she's half-baked? A little more labor-intensive side thing to do. What was I expecting? Triple layer fume. Bean shine. pattern does look cool. I can see the flame through it. Kind of snipping a smaller and smaller location of attachment. Whoa. Alright, this shit is sick. When you put black behind it, maybe the camera can see it. Not there's enough light. That might be as best as I get. Or I have to switch. Boom. Here. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Alright, continue the fold. The new goal is to keep curling this back over on itself. Is first make a flat sheet. Second, get this crap out of the way. Try to keep curling it over. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Slowly trying to curl it back up. Yeah, nice and easy. Turning this kind of into a cylinder. It's upsetting to hear about the audio. I have to go back and listen because I think it was bedded when I initially had it. So close. Roll this over on itself. shield my own hand from my torch. Jeez. Jeez, little beat. There's the HBO. Wondering when that was going to kick in. Oh, there goes the GoPro. Every time the big flame. Always a backup plan. So yeah, here I've gotten it seamed together, turned into a new tube, folded back. Now I'm going to give it a little trim, heat. Yeah, very curious how these are going to turn out. Next, straight seal. If I have a blowpipe. Something behind the camera. So I need to get a blowpipe on here so I can actually continue to shape it. How many things can you hold? The audio is good again. I don't know. It wasn't coming in from the GoPro at all. I couldn't double check, but I'm pretty sure. Oh no, it's cracked. It was all coming in from my earpiece right now, or it should have been. Get this handle off. More heat. Might not be able to marver your problems with, but you can eat them with. Graphite rod. Choose you. Okay. Strict it down, give it a little air, little puffs. It'll be right as rain. So I got my geezers, or my twacks, depending on what you call them. Baby jacks. Yeah, I am really curious. If the sound of the GoPro is affecting the sound now, if you think about it. I am. For BMW. Yeah, I got this when I did the test drive with my pops. And he bought his. So we each got shirts, him, my brother, and I. You know, that's what else you do. Let's save this little doodad. Rod, clean up some of the schmutz. Alright, now that it's flipped and sealed, I can come back and continue to melt this in and get it smoothed out. There, probably put it in the kiln, and maybe call it neat. So yeah, I'm really trying to heat it so it all melts in as one and there's no seams. And when I add air to it, it will kind of smooth things out and make it a little more even. And also find where there's holes. How did I think this is ever going to be a quick process? Like, truly. I'm trying to figure out when he adds the blue or the dark background. Does he strike that on first or as part of it? I guess if he does it on blue, that's probably exactly what he does. Fumes a blue rod. Little hole some air gap that I can't seem to find. I think I might have got it. Right, so there's still a little seam from where I flipped it. Try to melt that in all the way. And we're near done. Yeah, I'll have to try this next on like natural colored tubes. I think that's what I misstepped. Dang, as soon as I see it on a background, it's nice. It is a nice pattern. might be it for me now. I'm gonna melt this in the kiln. Call it there for the eve, I think. But I have tomorrow morning off now. So I'll probably be back on maybe around 11 or noon and start finishing up that piece. If not, you might hear from me in the evening after I teach crit. But thanks y'all. I'm Luke Stone, part of Stone Glass. I will catch everyone later.